Okay, sorry for the interruption. The UPS guy came and you wouldn't be able to hear me over sugar. So I'm going to make a judgment call here. The way I numbered this piece goes on next, but actually this piece needs to go on. Wait a minute, this piece. Where is it? Oh boy. No, that's this one. So, okay, so it is this one. So this little piece needs to go on. And I managed to paint the whole thing green instead of yellow. So we're just going to go with that. So my pepper is going to be green instead of yellow. So you kind of have to watch when you're trying to color out the things you don't want to see, that you don't color out something you do want to see. Like for me, the top of this pepper should have been yellow. But it's not. And I'm not going to cut another one. But this one actually goes underneath the leaf. So this one should have been number 17 instead of whatever number I made it. So I'm going to let that one go on. And then I'm going to put this guy on, because this is our next number. So this is what I'm saying about cutting guides. And you can make adjustments on the fly with a cutting guide. I mean, if you have it numbered one way or somebody has it numbered one way and you go to put it together and you realize that something else has to go on before something else, then just make the change. I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule that you have to follow the cutting guide. It's just a suggestion. And believe me, if you've ever made one, they're a real pain in the rear end to put together. So if you have to adjust them on the fly, it's not a bad deal. You just make adjustments. Now you can see all my peppers are starting to move around because my silicone is still wet. So I'm going to keep sliding things back and forth to cover up where they go as we're continuing to put it together. So I need to get my little yellow pepper to go where it goes right there. Okay, that looks pretty good. So just remember to keep adjusting. And once you do this and you're done, it's a pretty good idea with a piece like this to go back and start checking to see what's moved that's someplace you don't want it to be before the silicone is completely set up. Because once it's set, you're pretty much committed. There isn't a lot you can do to fix it after that. So this piece goes right there. This is number 15. Not that we're counting numbers, but that's the number it is. So this piece goes right here. This would have been a good, this is a good piece to put on a piece of backing board so that you have something to hold on to that is not the peppers. In fact, maybe I'll throw you guys in a piece that you can just lay this stuff on, because it's hard to handle this piece without moving something unless you put it on a backing board and then cut it off once it's completed. Okay, so then the next one is this one, which is, let me see where this one is. Pull this up. Nope, so it's got to be this one right there. So I know Tony McCarthy's a big proponent of putting things onto a piece of backing board. This is something that would be very advantageous to have it on backing board. So maybe I'll throw in some scrap mat board or some scrap foam core, and you guys can stick your base onto that before you start. So this little piece goes right here. You have to make sure that you get it, oops, so that it lines up with a red edge along this side, because this other pepper has to come in here. So you have to line up all your edge pieces. So this is where you see how well you got it lined up. And if it's down too far, it's down too far. You're just going to have to make do, make adjustments. Okay, and this one is next, which is this piece. sometimes not a bad idea to put something close to a bottom edge. So that way if you can get it to touch, it gives you 2 points that holds it into place rather than just the dollop of silicone. So this piece is going to go right here. And this one will be a little tricky because we've got to cover up a lot. And because I have shaped the paper, it now doesn't cover as much space as it did when it was flat. So you line it up as best you can and then make slight adjustments before your silicone dries to get it to where you want it. So for me, this piece is a little low, but I don't think I can move that. Oh, there we go, it did move, okay. Okay, so far it's looking pretty good, except I've smushed my leaf now. So let me pull this up a little bit. I need to push it that way a little bit so that my red pepper that goes on has a place to go. So just adjust your peppers as you go. Okay, so this one is 18, this one is 19, that one is 21, that one is 22. Uh-oh. I got something down out of order. I'm going to paper that. That's one reason it's a good reason to have the numbers face up. Because then you can see if you're out of sequence. So this one is a little red pepper that goes over here. So we're going to put him on. And then this one is that long green pepper that goes beside the one we just put on. It's a good idea to leave a little bit of space at the edges of these so that way if you get it together and you realize you need to tuck something, you have an availability to still slide it up underneath the leaf next to it. So this guy goes, oops, right here. Sure he does. Come on, you little devil. Now, because this edge is so high, I'm going to have to push this down a little bit because I can't get my green pepper on. It's way too high. So there's my green pepper. Down, boy. Okay. So I'm going to hold this for a second. And because I know that I have a little bit of silicone on the top of this pepper, before it sets up, I'm going to wipe it. Make sure I get the silicone off. If you do it while it's wet, it will come off. If you let it dry, it's another issue. I can see silicone right there. Okay, see we're getting movement in the peppers here. So I'm going to give you guys a piece of backing board to put this on because it's ridiculous trying to hold on to it. Okay, then 21 goes up at the top here. Now you'll notice there's a little bit of red here, so this one needs to tuck underneath this one. So here's where my cutting guide is off, or I put down a piece early. I think I put the red one down before I put the yellow one. And numerically, I think it goes the other way. But it's always good to have the ability to adjust a little bit. So we're fighting for alignment here. little piece wants to go someplace else. I'm going to hold that for a second. I can feel silicone glue right there. You can feel silicone glue. It's kind of sticky and a little thick feeling. So it's easy to see when your silicone glue is sticking to something. If you have trouble getting this piece to go down, it's not a bad idea to put a little bit of fast tack glue at the top, or let the pepper go underneath is probably a better idea. Okay, then we don't have many left. I have a red one that goes at the top. I have a little green one that goes someplace. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, where's my little green pepper? That one's there. Nope, nope. I have to break out the oh, there it is. It goes right there. Okay, so let's move this one over again. Push the silicone down a little bit. If you squish it around a little bit, it'll seat a little bit better. Okay, this little puppy goes right here. So what I'm going to do with this, is put a dollop at the top, and then a little smaller one at the bottom. So hopefully we can get it set. Okay, this guy goes right in here. Just like that. Oops. And that's the green one. And this is the red one. And the little red one goes up on top here. And again, if you have silicone hanging over the edges, just kind of wipe it off before you place the piece. Oops. And that little guy goes right there. Oops, getting off my tweezer. I'm going to place him. And then I have this little green one that goes up at the very top. And that is the last piece. I'm going to talk to you about what to do with these little peppers. There are multiple options. You can put these in a frame. You can mount them on a little wooden plaque, which is what I gave you guys. And then after I painted your plaques, I came up with a third option, which I'm going to show you. This little guy goes right here. I'm sure he does. Right there. And there we go. Now we have a finished bunch of peppers. Now for the mounting board that I had a wooden plaque like you guys had, and I found some scrapbooking paper, and I kind of like this. So this is what I'm going to put these guys on. And then I will just put a pop tab on the back for hanging, and we will be complete. So I'm going to let this set for a little bit. Actually, I'm probably just going to put some glue on this and stick it where I want it, because that way it'll give me something to hang on to. Although I wouldn't suggest that you use your finished mounting board as something to hold on to while your piece dries. So I'm going to place this guy where I want him, which is kind of right about there. I'm going to push down ever so slightly just to get the glue in contact with the paper. And there you go. One finished pepper strand. Good thing to sell at a craft fair. It's small. It would be an inexpensive piece at a craft fair. Maybe $15. I have 79 cents in the board. There are 5 of these, and I think these are 65 cents. So if we said 70 cents, that would be $3. The scrapbooking paper that I bought was in a book. So I got a book of 180 pieces of paper for $6. So that would be pennies for this, for your mounting board. And then, so you would have basically $5, a little less than $5 in it. So if you sold it for $15, that would be 3 times your dead costs, which is not a bad deal. Most people work on a 3 to 4% margin, 3 to 4 times what your costs are. That's kind of a personal thing, depending on where you want to be. And I'm going to let this set for a little bit, and I'm thinking that's about where it's going to go. Okay, peppers are done.